July last year, we got a call from Frazers saying would we be interested in managing the building. And we were really excited, but we were nervous because it was just such a massive undertaking.
I think the importance of something that is in an inner city location is that, of course, it's high density, critical mass. More people live and work in these areas. Plus also, in particular, Sydney is pretty void of spaces where artists can practice their craft.
The idea of working with developers for creative spaces has been bobbling around council for a while. There's some fantastic models in Germany and the UK. Unfortunately, Australian developers have been a bit slower and less enthusiastic about it. So when we heard that Frasers were contemplating community use for one of their venues before they turned it into part of the broader development, we immediately had that exciting feeling of this is the chance to trial a creative space that we've been looking for.
We all know there's a real risk of our young artists being pushed out of Sydney, and yet you're the very people we need to ensure creativity does in fact continue and to bring ideas to us and to challenge the old habits.
My passion for the arts really is not a passion that comes from knowledge or education. It's a passion coming from being concerned to look after diversity, to promote diversity, to promote accessibility. And so it's not, there's nothing highbrow about my desire to have this happen well and happen broadly. It's merely to do with another dimension of the city which will add a richness to it.
I think the main thing, just by developing the proposal already, that was a really good chance to crystallise what I was working towards for a project coming up. So that was a really good process anyway, just by putting the application in, because I developed my ideas, proposed what I wanted to do in the time. And then the actual residency itself has been really great because how vast it is. I mean, the space I've got here is bigger than you'd ever normally get in any other studio space. And it's just really allowed for a lot of ideas to start to flow and to actually start to lay things out and work on one thing, move to a next thing, and jump to and fro rather than normally being so restrictive on space. You sort of have to work on one small thing and then move to the next thing. This project is a sort of utopian future vision for the city. Essentially is like this future projection is that the city essentially will be taken over by jetpacks, but these particular jetpacks are connected to salons and a salon infrastructure that I'm proposing. And the idea is that each jetpack, and I'm developing five models, and each of those are based on hairstyle. You then would fly to the next salon to get further treatment and refuel your jetpack. So the idea is that this new transport infrastructure could supersede all other transport, but it's completely dysfunctional, and each of the jetpacks only fly for 20 to 50 seconds. So there is this sort of unraveling of this utopian vision. And I'm proposing to develop maps around that, so sort of how I imagine the city structure to work, as well as actual real prototypes. So I'm actually physically building these 5 models.
think it's the Inner West weekly newspaper that comes to my doorstep. There are the pictures of people's houses in the real estate ads, and so I chose a couple because they had paintings of Buddhas in them, so they just caught my eye and had nice pink in them, and I thought that they were interesting, so I've been making dioramas and copying these miniature sort of houses. I've seen once in a movie, I can't remember where, was a porcelain dinner set all laid out. This is just paper mache and it's just an idea, but in order to have a dinner around a garden, and I wanted to sort of see what it might look like. That's just a small version in paper mache, but it's just like a little bit of whimsy, but also I like the contrast between this very industrial environment and then something as decadent in contrast as the gardens of Versailles. So, and then the dinner that would bring people together. In order for artists to produce work, they need an environment where they can collect things or work on messy ideas, and sort of it's not something that happens like a genie who realizes something. It's a long and laborious sometimes process in realizing an artwork, and it takes many steps to make something for myself that I can put into a gallery or some other setting.
It's fascinating for me as a curator to see the responses of artists to urban change and to reflect on the various ways that artists can engage directly with the processes of transformation and renewal, introducing levity and, of course, considered reflection on events that can otherwise sometimes be removed or perhaps even alienating from our everyday lives.